Test. Okay, so I am now going to stream and I'm going to be continuing the stuff that I was doing yesterday for the most part and make sure that my microphone is working. It is. Probably solved the duplicate sound voice kind of thing by doing this, but while muting this one because I guess it's duplicated. So right now I'm going to basically, I'm essentially just going to post that I'm streaming now. So let's see, Twitch, I am live. Edit, share link, copy. Let's see. So post on Twitter. Let's see. Jamie. Programming. Live on Twitch. Watch me implement more iMode stuff, basically. Well, DoJa / iMode. So. Exclamation point. And get rid of this. Tweet. Then retweet. Yep. Okay. And then publish. Of course, no one's watching yet, so. Well, actually, I guess people are. But actually, I don't know what's the difference between people in the chat room and people viewing. Let's see, Twitch. Viewers, chatter. Not count as viewer, blah, blah. Chatters are simply the Twitch account that connects on any channels. Ah. I guess it's someone. Let's see. I have no idea. No idea. Probably could be just bots. News. But regardless, so yesterday, let me run this. And then pretty much what I was working on was basically just, I mean, this is going to be posted to YouTube anyway, so yay. Basically yesterday I was working on the timers for DoJa / iMode, and pretty much what I'm doing is essentially just Since yeah, so basically, yesterday I implemented timers for DoJa. So next thing what I'm going to be doing is working on essentially having like a web server-ish kind of thing for the so iMode software essentially just accesses the resources and otherwise for whatever software is running. So pretty much, yeah. So basically, it's kind of just like the software, you know, pokes a web server to get some information somewhere for the most part. And in this case, it's this address here. So //0 CGI. Well, I wonder. So I wonder about this. Let's see, scroll GME plus web root. Hmm. Yeah, I gotta keep remember about that. Known lineal subclass. I don't know lineal. Okay. Let's see now. Push manager. Guess the original reference, yep, the teacher was down. Using it, blah 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 blah. It's download. So example.com/download frog. And in this case, it's just localhost, I guess. Hmm. So I mean, like basically, so HTTP addresses have like there's the scheme, this is the address, and this is the path essentially. So it's interesting that nope, I don't want to do that. So it's interesting that basically it's trying, at least the software itself is accessing, where was it? Yeah, it's doing like /s0. So, which means this would be like the host name, which definitely is a bit weird. But this software itself is probably like hard coded trying to look at this stuff. So, I mean, I might be able to like change this to something like maybe like DoJa or something. Um, no, let's just see. DoJa // Just want to see what it tries connecting to, or at least what it wants. I'm just gonna say hi. People joined. So let's see. It's loading. Yeah, so I'm just gonna actually. That's not gonna work. Let's see where we can actually. The base scheme for this connection in public. That's the point. Start final stream scheme. URI scheme. And I guess I'll just say it's DoJa. Qualify. Then this one will just return URI scheme plus oops. So yeah, we'll see how the software responds to this change. So, I mean, it's possible it's hard to just beat characters potentially, since HTTP. So we'll see. Of course, everything has to load again. So this is probably the longest point for things, but I did like in the past month parallelize loading of things. So on the Steam Deck, the 4 CPUs and stuff are being used to pretty much load everything. And yes, I'm doing development on Steam Deck because it's basically just its own. There's no distractions on it. And it's like one of the best systems that I have that can actually like encode video pretty fast. So otherwise, I'd have to set like a really low frame rate and low resolution, which probably wouldn't look too great. So let's see. Did it change? Hmm. It's definitely like hard coded. ECO2. What's this? Oh yeah. Hmm. So let me see. Decode percent S. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, HTTP address should start with double slash. So it's interesting. Because it's just doubling like blank something. I mean, it's possible, like, yeah, it's, I mean, it's like, you're asking, let's see if we can make it longer. See what happens when we make it longer. So, I mean, ideally, there should be the HTTP part. There should also be like the host name part. But I'm pretty sure it's just like making an assumption as to like the actual London things. Let's see, open slash slash. Okay. Interesting. I wonder. Yeah, not sure. Let's just set it to this. So, I mean, technically, this should be the actual like host name here. So I wonder if it's just. I mean, this software was from Gmode, and there's really no web server that it accesses because it runs its own, sort of, in a way. So, yeah, I wonder if this will change anything. Yeah, that should all be API. So let's see. Run this again. So probably like one of the other things is going to actually implement this fake web root kind of thing. So, hmm. Although I do kind of wonder if the web root itself can. It's like I have like the host, the IP address. Hmm. Yeah, I'm guessing that this software just kind of like hard codes to like this zero. So let's see. Zero. Interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna guess go from here or something. Let's see. HTTP URI format. Let's see, blah, blah. Hmm. Nope, I don't. Let's see, URL 986. Let's see if there's one for HTTP. So there's a missing authority or empty host invalid. So I mean, technically it's it would probably take too long, but I'm just gonna figure out how I can work around this in a way. I think it'd be better if, let's see, I'll make it a single slash. Because I do know that the software itself is like, it's basically just, when I looked at it, it was, it's pretty much just like the host finds first slash, then adds 7 characters, and then it gets the base string from there. So I'm just going to see how this works. But regardless, if this is in the format I want, like, basically single slash, which is really what I want, then see what happens. Wait for it to start. Hmm. Interesting. Now that's did not like that. Let's see. I wonder if I can do this might be a bit faster. No, I don't want to do that. Any day. No, one of the bigger ones. So we got hmm. Oh, I guess I'm just gonna have to work around that. So basically we have our URI part and we're gonna have to basically handle cases where it's in the wrong format, I guess. So HTTP client connection. Hmm. So let's see. Um, Let's see. Obviously, HTTP client connection. So, because I mean, this is basically an HTTP server that I want to connect to. So, here's a request builder. So, stream. So we're gonna have to like basically fix up the address itself. So let's see, fix address. This is going to be obviously an HTTP address. So create a method, move this down. There's no pointer exception. And we're probably going to want the manager as well. So let's see, manager role of part is null. For a new null pointer. And then manager used the URI part to code. We fixed or potentially normalized HTTP address on all arguments 10 and 11. So some DoJa software from Gmail archives may access a web resource that does not have a host name and rather just ends up being the path. Actually, some DoJa software may be hard coded in terms of character and address once so that it is unable to figure out or determine the host name for, whatever. For an address. So I guess what we could do is file address. This condenses slashes for us. Oh, nice. That's always happy. Okay, so essentially, I think one way we can do this is essentially we want to take two addresses, essentially for the most part, and this is the part, I guess. So there's HTTP address dot from URI part, and I guess what we can say is let's see, I wonder what I should put in here. I guess splitting. And then we'll have, a second one that's just our normal address part. And I guess what we can say is remove that. Of course, this will illegal argument if it's invalid. So I guess what I could say is from URI part unchecked. Unchecked. Go to this. And this will basically be, don't want to do that. Turn HTTP. That is HTTP address dot part. And if this is an illegal, if this is a bad address, then we'll just return null. And it's going to be basically the same code here. So address is not valid, or code null if the address is not valid. Or returns null if not valid. So let's see. This is, I wrote this 3 years ago. That was a long time ago. 10, 11. And make this unchecked. Implicit. Well, it's more like explicit. Or rather, I need a better word. There's explicit and normal. I guess added. So some addresses might be missing their host name due to truncation and hard-coded and expected hard-coded URI for host name once. Who knows? So pretty much what I'm going to want to do is I want to ask the manager, you know, if added is not equal to null, and manager dot, well, added dot file is not equal to null. Actually, can the file be always null? Let's see, file. Only contains the host part, file address up. It's always just slash, technically. So, I mean, it's going to always be valid anyway. So let's go back here. So if that is not equal to null and manager dot path exists, I guess. Added dot file. Let's see. So if the path exists, then we're going to return the added. Otherwise, we're going to return the normal. If the added, if we add the host name and we end up essentially having the file existing, well, the path. Okay. We add the host name. So that the path, URI path, leads to an actual valid file. Then we use this, added onto path as a basis to obtain whatever resource we are trying to get. Obviously, this doesn't exist yet, so I'm going to throw a pointer here. See files below. File to check. If the path exists in the virtual web root, no arguments, 10, 11 checks whether the given path exists within the virtual web root. So the next thing that's going to have to be handled is, I don't have the fragment right now, but I do have the query. So let's see, HTTP address format. Let's see what this has. Port, absolute path. Let's see, query. Yes. UChar. Unreserved or escape. Escape is hex hex. Fragment. Absolute URI, relative URI, fragment. Absolute is this. Scheme UChar reserved. Relative, no path as rel path. Okay, so these are rel paths, and then this is also the as path. So I mean, I could technically handle that relative if there's just one, but I'll just do that later. So relative path, so there's parameters, which I actually haven't seen before. Params, interesting. Actually, I guess that is a thing. So technically, according to this, the fragments always last. So move that. Parse parameter and string parameter. Params and query. And there could be multiple parameters. So let's see. Of course, these are going to have to actually turn into lists. So parameters. Oops. Import. And queries. Let's see. SP. Well, Well, I'll just not do this. I'll just set that. There's always just one fragment, so queries and fragments, so string to list string. And we're going to want to change this to collection string. Collection string. And I mean, I know there's technically there's a lot of queries that are just like yeah, because query is in the same format. Maybe. I mean, let's see. Import refactor. Queries. Actually, I shouldn't have changed this, but maybe not. So usually in like an address, you'll have like blah 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 equals blah blah blah, and then and something else. But there's nothing in the specification that says that's like whatever format. So I guess that's a good point. Params. And there can be multiple parameters, but there can only be one query. Ah, I see. There's query here, but there's no like multiple queries. That makes sense. So undo this actually. String query. Parameters, query fragment. Add list. The parameters. Multiple ones. This will be a collection. We're going to want to basically well, it could be anything. Let's just do a list for now. So obviously, parameters is equal to new array list. Parameters. Then we're going to want to check one. And if param is null, then throw null pointer exception. This is defensive check. Defensive copy. And this dot parameter looks parameters equals unmodifiable list of parameters parameters which exist within your address. This be null. So parameters equal to null, then empty list dot empty, and then that. Then we can just say parameters is equal to null, well, not equal to null. Then we do the copy and check on it. Modify our list, so empty string. Ah. Okay, so we have the parameters there. Of course, these are always null. So, So this handles the percent encoding. So yes, we're gonna need segment p-char. P-char is every u-char plus this. And query and fragment both have u-char. And alpha digit safe. Extra national. So reserved. Since u-char and reserved, p-char has u-char, but none of the reserved, except for some of these. So I'm gonna have to make character decoder of sorts. Yeah. And contains invalid character. Let's see. I'll just p. And I have to make a new class, HTTP utils. And it not used. Contains HTTP utilities. So what I want to do is I want to move this decoder over. Refactor. Move to HTTP utils. So now that's there. And essentially, what I want to do is HTTP URL character set represents a character set within an HTTP URL. And we're going to want path, queries, query or fragment, because these are the same. It's interesting how there's pchar. So there's query or fragment. Then there's address. Or rather, host name for locator. Well, I guess it's more like host name. Host part of the address. Path part of the address. Or parameters. Okay, and then change this so that we use this. Set path refactor. There's equal null. The character set to use if the string is not valid. Do path to handle different parts of the which may be coded or not. Okay, so now for this, we're going to basically say fragments are always at the end. So then we're going to say fragment is equal to this, and it's going to be quarter fragment. And that's essentially just going to be fl plus 1 p dot substring fl plus 1 because we don't want the fragment. Parameters. Queries can end at an end for fragments. So pound, I guess hash is equal to p dot index of hash, and that's going to be ql plus 1. Then essentially, if hash at is less than 0, then we don't have one, so it's just p dot substring ql plus 1. But if we do have one, then it's p substring ql plus 1, and then we want to stop at wherever that hash sign is. And then we want to decode it to have query for fragments. Yeah. So that's fragments and queries. So then we just have to change the actual decoder. So and then slashes, we only want to do that for paths. That's only any percent encoding, which we don't have right now, I suppose. String contains a label character, so basically let's see, it's directly valid. Public final boolean is valid char C. And then depending on what we are, default row debugging dot oops. Let's see. Character to check if this character is valid within this out. 10, 11. Checks whether this character is valid or not. So we're going to want pchar and uchar. So HTTP unreserved characters, HTTP pchar, path characters. Well, I mean, the locators use pchars plus this. Then there's unreserved, which I'll put well, uchar characters, I guess. HTTP uchar. So uchar is also escape. So escape characters. Yeah, so net locator. So I guess this would be net locator, host part, and the address for the host name. We're going to want to actually do yes, v6 address. Oh, figure that out later, I guess. Create missing branches. So unreserved is alpha digit safe extra national. So let's see, return C is less greater than A. Then for uppercase, then lowercase digits 0 and 9. And then it's safe, which is all these. $, dash. the unreserved characters. Okay, so nothing else uses escape, so well, safe extra, and then there's extra. I want to actually do this. HTTP safe characters and extra characters. Now we can just do this. So these are safe. Turn this. And then we can just say alpha characters and alphanumeric. Yeah. Then we can just say extra. And then we can use scratch file for this. Oh, actually, no, don't need that. Let's see, swap. Can I select all these actually and do this? Let's see. That's nice. So safe extra. So unreserved is essentially alpha digit receipt. So it's alphanumeric is valid C for safe or HTTP extra is valid C. And this is our unreserved set. Then pchar is return pchar is valid C or C is equal to C is equal to colon or C is equal to at C is equal to and or to equals C is equal to plus. So these are the p chars. The new char is unreserved and escape, but we can just say unreserved. So unreserved is valid C. It's also escape, but escape is get rid of escape. So alphanumeric, safe, extra, unreserved, uchar, uchar, net locator is any pchar or semicolon and question mark. Which is kind of funny. Well, I guess not, because there is the slash after the net locator, so segment is any pchar. So return HTTP any courier fragment is uchar or reserved. So we can just do HTTP reserved. Well, I'll have to add that in. And it's also uchar. Oops. Reserved characters. Let's see, query, char, safe, extra. These are all the reserved characters, so change these all to this. Insert these. And then we can say C is equal to this. Yep. Then okay, so that handles all the characters, basically. And I want to make sure that I add this. Yeah, that's good. So then I can do the HTTP utils, and I can just say star. Yeah, that's where star is. Okay. Then I can just say basically char set is valid. Let's see. Get rid of this. Yeah. That's only percent encoded. String decode, and we should have our query basically. Let's restart this. Hopefully that handles the query part. I wonder why it's so big. Let's see what we got. Path exists. Okay. Okay, so the HTTP paths were decoded. So we're going to commit this. Two HTTP paths. Well, refactor HTTP URI URL decoding to commonize parts of it. I'm totally failing with this. Yeah. Why is this not working? There we go. Okay. What is this? So let's see. Next spot is basically checking if the path exists. So let's see. New web root manager. I want this to take a public, and this would be jar shelf. And this will be the jar file of all of our resources. If jar is equal to null, this.jar equals to jar. Jar that makes up our web root. The jar that makes up the web root. No arguments. 1011. So initializes the web root. So once we have a jar, okay, that works. Let's see. So debugging.debug note. Path exists %s, and this will be file. So then what we're going to want to do is essentially jar package shelf. And we're going to want to try opening the path. Of course, jar path is equal to this. If jar path that starts with a slash. Well, yeah, let's see. Like minute is okay. So in jar path, well, while we start with slashes, we want to get rid of all the slashes. So substring 1, remove all starting slashes. Try input stream in well, technically it's going to be ignored. So return, well, actually, no, it's not ignored. And let's see, return n is equal to no. It's not equal to null. And this should be jar path. Look within the jar. The resource by attempting to open it. If it does not exist, then we return that case. It will exist. The stream is not null. No package bracket. Yeah. This bracket is Squirrel Jamie's specific stuff. Man, I guess I should just throw our exception. And read errors. And oh, okay. So, and what we're going to want to do is we want to find the web root jar. So Squirrel Jamie connection. We're going to want to find that first. Let's see. So jar package brackets jar. Yeah, if jar is equal to null, then we're just going to throw our exception. Pretty sure. I want to really make sure that connection not found exception. Well, the errors. HOX. Errors. For the software. Let's see. Web root suffix. Public static final string. Web root suffix. Let's see now. Do this and FAX. Okay, so the web root jar or null if not found. 22 to 11 attempts to locate the web root jar to obtain resources from it. So we're going to want to go, let's see, we want to get the current class path. So this is our current class path, and basically our launch jar is going to be the last entry on the class path generally. So class path equals class path dot length minus one, which are launched with, and essentially what we're going to want to do is we want to this library path. You know, I really thought there was like name for let's see, it may not be a physical path, blah blah blah. So yeah, I guess that'll have to be it for now. Launch path, and obviously if there is no launch path, then we have no idea what to do. Gonna find the web root. Of course, I probably should get like a logical name or something. So library.new. I mean, it really depends, but suppose on the otherwise. I guess I'll put this down for later. Add library name. Okay, so we're going to want to take the let's see, so last dot, so last index of dot, and if determine the name of the extension. So let's see. We need to know the extension of this. So technically, web root extension. This is our extension. So extension equals launchpath dot substring last dot plus one. Our desired web root is our string plus dot extension. So desired path, I guess, would be launch path substring 0 to the last dot plus dot. Well, plus one. Oh, but dot plus web root plus our original extension. And then go through all the jars and find this one. So I guess essentially jar package bracket library jar package shelf dot libraries, and if desire path dot equals shelf dot path library, then return this library. Otherwise, return null not found. So this should be able to find that. Provided it's named this name, extension, pepper dot extension. Yeah, it should hopefully work. We will find out. Path exists slash. Oh wait, here it is. Decodes this and kind of resource. So 78 fixed address. So we definitely found the web root. HTTP client connection. Yeah, if normal is equal to null, is not equal to null. Null path is valid, and we do actually see connection. Path is not valid. If the address is not valid, or does if there is no valid address, throw new, oops. Let's see, get the error for this. H1, no path is valid. So I know one thing we want to do is in the path exists here. If the path is blank, it always exists and likely leads to an index. If our path that is empty, then we just return true. Then we'll see what happens. Because if it reaches that point, then the manager should actually exist. So, but We don't actually have dialogue right now, so it's actually just saying the error I just put in. No path is valid. Wow, that's sure. That's what it looks like so far. It's just this purple square, well, magenta, technically speaking. So magenta square software. So let's see. So what this software is obviously doing is well, what it is doing is kind of just like a security check. It's calling this, it's accessing this site because basically it's, do you have an actual license to run the software? And since this failed, it's just basically saying, you know, you can't run this because you don't have a license to run it. Like you didn't buy it. So I'm gonna have to work around that. So this one fails here. So normal's not equal to null. Then that means there is no regular path. So probably what I want to do is, let's see, path exists slash. And we get rid of every single slash. Right? But we can't just like, I mean, there's really like no way to check if there's a directory in a jar. It just doesn't really work like that. So this should get rid of all the actual starting slashes. So I'll move this here. Yeah. So it's obviously trying to open this path. So encodes. Hmm. So this is definitely not valid. So let's go to my utilities and run this one. I want to actually print that out. I want to print out that exception because generally that means the path is malformed. Actually, did I even do this right? Yeah, slash s which I mean part. I do have a feeling. Let's see. I don't know about that already. Fixed address. ETO1. Obviously, this doesn't start with slash slash, so it's invalid. Because it's slash slash zero, but it's expecting kind of like the host name, so yeah. And then we have this one. Slash 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 01 slash slash scroll Jimmy slash slash slash. So that basically just means the file address part. Hmm. No, I'm actually not reading that. Yeah, this is why. I'm just completely dropping the file, so file address, file address, and end at any of these points. So in dot next semi next query next param next query. So and the last one is going to be next fragment. So for the length, generally, whichever is first, as long as it's not -1. So let's see, if there's no parameter, then it's going to have that to be acquired. So yeah, if next param is greater than or equal to 0, then it's next param. Otherwise, it's next query. And then otherwise, it's next fragment. Or it's p.length. So p.substring 0 to that. It's always fun having lots of parentheses. End pause is equal to everything in here. Obviously, p is equal to p.substring into position. Extract the file parameter card. Now that should hopefully work better. We run. And then we'll see. So if this does work, that'd be nice. Let's try this. Still doing that. So path exists. Boot.cgi 0 blah blah blah. Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely working. Ah, there we go, making progress. Now it's basically trying to set the request method of our HTTP call. I'm going to commit this, initialize DoJa web root and directions around HTTP address, including. Okay. So because DoJa is essentially just /i mode, it's really just a copy paste, you know, reinventing the wheel, even though it's not really needed. So basically, set request method. Yeah, we're just gonna forward that basically. Let me see first. HTTP connection, because DDP, what's DDP? Arguments null. Must mirror the head getter post. HTML exception. That does not happen in the current implementation. The methods used must be one of head, get, and post. Let's see, sets the request method of the HTTP call. The method is invalid. Any errors, any unspecified errors, and if no method was specified. Had getter post. So switch. Let's see if method is equal to null, then pointer exception. Let's see if I could just do this. Case head get post. Break and otherwise we fail. AHOZ Invalid method specified. None of these methods are valid. Oops, I don't want to do that. Rerun. Obviously, one of the fun things is that some of the software uses CGI bin, which basically is like running programs on the server, and they kind of just give some result for that. And I did look at some of the code that is in the web root, and it's basically like Perl. So I wonder if this is going to pop up. Huh. Interesting. There's probably some kind of update, like refresh not happening. I do not know what's taking so long. Path exists, so definitely saying the request method, but no other code's being called. Interesting. Class canvas, I think it was. And then just connect. Which is funny because this should actually just fail right here, but it's not. Interesting. So I wonder what happens outside of that. I'll run it in a slower environment. Just kind of is like much closer to actual Java ME. So hosted runs on the host virtual machine, so it tends to be faster. But then there's also Spring Code, which is its own self-contained virtual machine, and that for the most part has like everything in it. It's just slower because it's a pure interpreter. So, but it's very nice for like testing and stuff. It's very linear. It does take longer because it's pure interpreted. So, but I mean, it's just for like testing. So there we go. Launch this, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so there's no dialog class. Open connect. EC11. Connector open. Connection.open. What is EC11? The URI does not have a scheme. The URI. Really? And our URI is blank. Open blank. Interesting. Yeah, this is one of the benefits of Spring Code is, it's easier to debug. I should be able to do. Oh, maybe not, I guess. I'll have to figure out refreshing. Also, I didn't even know the window can't follow up the screen, which is kind of nice. Hmm. So open connection. I wonder. It is going down a different code path, it seems. Yeah, it should be after that point. Memory secure. Let's see. URL. 0. 7 plus 1. Interesting. Could also just be that something's wrong. This is blank. I can just launch another one. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, so this is going there. This one did not. Although it previously has, so be able to quit that way and relaunch. See what happens. Still open blank. Hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Just gonna commit this. So one thing I can do is actually, let's see. Make sure everything's actually working. Check. run the debugger, and I'm gonna find out where I said I put that open. Right here. So whenever the connection gets opened, I'm gonna run this. Now I wanna connect to myself, and hopefully this works on the Steam Deck. Well, it's connected. And let's just see where this goes. Let's see, start this, and hopefully it should break point here around this method. We'll find out. Thread main is suspended in the debugger. Oh yeah, it's definitely frozen. Well, we did hit the breakpoints. We definitely did hit the breakpoints because it is suspended now. Interesting. Let's see, I wonder. For my Saturday, I'm going to check this on another computer. Yeah. I mean, it is connected. So try again. I kind of want to do a sanity check of the debugger. So debug, and I should be able to say pause. Yeah, there we go. This is exactly what I wanted. Just dropping in this random point. So maybe connection dot open. Actually, this forwards to this open, so I'm gonna stop here instead, and let's continue running. Yeah, so definitely, I hope this is not an issue with the virtual machine, because if it is, then I found the bug. Yay. Which means I'll have to just like dig into that bug and try and fix it, which will be fun. Launching. Thread main suspended via the debugger, but seems a bit broken. Let's get rid of this and let's go here. Let's try again. Now the one thing is, with virtual machines, is debugging can get fun and pretty complicated. But it's interesting because nothing else is breaking, so nothing's breaking for like no apparent reason, I guess. It means suspended via debugger, but yeah. Something's weird. Because we're at this point, and this is our sorcerer route. So maybe well, kill that. Hmm. So I did recently make everything kind of like volatile and synchronized. Yeah. So definitely it's possible it's the arrays. But if setting and getting look fields was messed up, then pretty much everything else in the virtual machine would be broken for some reason. So let's see. Application. I add the interface. New instance. Start. We'll try this. We'll try brinking here and see if that works. Move this box over a little bit more. Also, if you'd like, you can see little hearts in the reflection. So okay, so launch this. Okay, so something must be weird after this point. So step into start. So we're in right now. we're in basically class, we have no idea. So let's see if we can, what is it now? App URL. Yeah, here we go. Set a watch. So uh, we want to watch this. Oh, we'll flag it because we want to see it. And add to watches. There we go. And edit the watch. Well, maybe not. Let's see if we can look at our breakpoints. Java field watch points. Fully qualified name of the class is going to be a NIS canvas. Field breakpoints, NIS canvas, and this is going to be, of course, this doesn't like it because IntelliJ doesn't see it, so it doesn't like it. So we're just gonna step into, okay, so we're initializing this constructor, so we can step out of the constructor, step out of the constructor, then we step into set current, we step out, step into memory secure. So this is the after the 6, we should reach the app variable here, and then we'll see what happens. Step into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This changed to 1. So bar 1 is now, yeah, basically gonna have to wait till this is 6. That's our counter. And thing is, we can't really exactly see all the source code, so 3. So we're basically stepping through instruction by instruction blindly. 4. 5. 6, and the loop should be ending soon. So then what it should do is you should set the this system 5 to 0, and then it should call this method here, get current app, get source URL. So okay, so get the current app. Our last app is, this basically. Okay, so we can step out and step in. In our source URL, step out, step into. Okay, so the application URL is DoJa plus DoJa plus. Yeah, and then this basically does this app URL substring. So it's possible. So the next call will be this will be this one. So index of /7 from index 7. So step into, step into. Okay, initializing the string. Yeah, so step out. Wait a minute. This is index of string, so I wonder if that's implemented incorrectly. Index of string here. Because it's not doing an index of an individual character, it's doing an actual string. So I wonder if that's actually incorrect. Pin. Okay, so 7 index of string. Char sequence and chills index of. This B0 guy. Turns the position with a string. So maybe this. I don't actually have a test for this, so I have a feeling it is this method here is incorrect. It's my guess. So we step out, we step in, we step in. Now we're doing index of B. So this is our string, step into, then we step into this method. So index of, normalize position, okay. Sort length, I could just do step overs. So look for length is equal to 1. So obviously that's the case. If the string is longer than ours, then it'll never be a match. Obviously, as far as I don't know what BN is. AN and BN. So let's step into, okay, so of course now AN is appearing. Okay, so step into, step over, continue outer. Index is equal to 7, A is 15. So index, actually A is 15. Why is A 15? So the original string is 19 and 1. So this should actually reach it soon. Char's I is equal to 0. Really? Char at X and char at B. So we're looking for B. X plus plus B plus plus. So our source string is this, and then, interesting. We're starting from 7, so AN. What is A? Maybe that doesn't tell me, but so 17 That's the first character. Okay, so A is equal to 17. Let's see now, scratch file, text. So 0, I should move that up there. Okay, so this is working. It found this first slash here, right? Okay. First slash was found here. So mark that. And that's the first here. So this one here is 17. And 17 plus 1 is 18. Let's see, step into. So index of, we're starting at 18. So looking for that. Nothing was found. So that's -1. So this method is actually incorrect. So when this is 18, yeah. So let's see. So index of this 18 is -1. That shouldn't. Okay, so it's not a bug, it's a bug implementation, so we get to fix that. Oh, more like that. So we can stop debugging now, I guess. Stop. Also, check out trunk, because if I'm fixing something, I want everything else to get fixed. So let's see. First, what we're going to do is go to string. And we're going to make a new test. Lang, and we're going to do string index of. String, never mind that. You know, I wish gotta wait for the update. Yeah, that issue is because one implemented correctly, but we're gonna see. You know, I really show memory in the code. Yes. You know how much memory the Steam Deck has? Oh wow, it has almost 16 gigs. So nice. Which means maybe I can just tell IntelliJ to just use more change memory settings. Instead of 1854, let's do 2048 plus 12, so 2560. Save. We'll restart later. For next time. Okay, so a new test, and it's going to be called test string index of. Test that cases of think string index of string is valid. So DoJa stir. So this case here is the scratch. So let's see. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This should be 18. DoJa stir. Bang. New test expectations. Where is that? Really? It's missing? Yeah, I guess it's missing. So this is actually a manifest. Okay, test string. String index of, and this is a DoJa stir, should be 18. Copy reference, and then we're going to do module cltc compact test hosted d test dot single equals this. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I can just do this. Test hosted. I'm assuming I know how this works. This and then once this is well, I guess maybe not. Int 18. But yeah, that's correct. So this is the hosted environment, so I'm just testing it against Java SE. Now, if I run this against Spring Code, it's going to be -1. Let's see. Yeah. -1. So don't want to go there. So what was index string int? So for some reason, this method, this is sequence to find the starting index. Index is 0 if an string is longer than the linear match. A is equal to the index. Limit. I should probably rename some of these variables. Source. A is the source len. So source len, look len. Okay. Source at and B is 0. That's interesting, actually. Maybe it's might be limit. Because the source line is minus the look length, and that's our limit of how far we want to look. So I guess we can say add some more. Too big, and this, oops, that's too big. We're going to want to say squirrel index of squirrels 0. Now, too big should be -1, right? And squirrel at index of rel 0. Rel 0 should be rel is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should be 5. And rel 2 should also be 5. And rel 5, 5 should also be 5. And rel 6 should be -1. So you'll just yeah, so we should run this. Make sure I got all these correct. Okay, that passed. Now we're going to see which one of these cases fail on spring coat. Let's see exactly. Let's see what fails in spring coat. Interesting. So anything at the end. So then that should basically mean is it UIR should be 0, 1, 2. That should be 2, right? And UIR2 should be 2. And UIR3 should be -1. Run this again. And this is why you have tests. Okay, expectations are expected. Now run in spring code and see which one of these cases. I'm pretty sure the UIR ones are going to pass, and the ones that are at the very end are just going to fail. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with that minus. Yeah. Just timer here back. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so the URR is working. So basically any of the strings that are at the end are not working. So I'm pretty sure it's this, source at less than limit. So, oh yeah, that's why. Because if we're looking at the same two characters, 18 and 18, right? And say the string is 18 characters, then we're keeping a limit of the strings, and this is less than. So this should technically be +1. Now we're going to go back to the test and hopefully that fixes things without breaking things. And it passed. So one bug fixed. Now I want to add this actual test so it gets added for later. So if it ever messes up in the future, then we have a regression test. So commit and basically correct char sequence utils dot index of string CS CSI to where it would stop short of finding a match on where the looked for string is exactly at the end of the target string. So let's see. Put this in. Now, one thing I do want to check real quick is well, I guess that's what ends with this. So let's go back to the iMode branch. Then we merge from trunk. Then we commit. And then we go back to testing the slightly laggy for a moment. I'm going to run this when it's not being laggy. Run the same point as the hosted. I think if this works, I'm going to break. Since it's almost this works. I do have a Patreon at patreon.com/squirreljamie. If you want to help out and people else, services like spending the personally. So if you can donate, please. It really helps. So this is loading, and we'll see what happens. Okay, start this. Move this up. Okay, that looks better. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this URL is decoding, and it looks the same as before as the host environment. Now, I do know where is this throwing from? This is throwing from a dot start. Start. Okay, let's actually no, it's a dot start, not this. If boot is -1, so it's calling the boot method. I think it's trying to make this dialog. So we'll look at boot, and I'm pretty sure it's this connection it's trying to open. Let's see, which one was it? It's not this one, it's not this one. It's not chapter. I wonder. Get parameter chapter. So it is reaching this point. It's trying to check which chapter to play. Then it gets the title. Then it's the verse. Interesting. Map. Interesting. So I know the other one does the memory secure. The app URL. It opens connection, and then basically it just closes it, like it doesn't even care what's there. I think it's just trying to check to see if the thing is valid. And then it gets the chapter. So a.start. Of course, this catches any exceptions. So media manager, get image. An app chapter is not equal to null. I mean, technically, you can just open a connection without actually connecting to it. So it's kind of like pointless. So definitely it is getting past this point. Then it's calling boot. Yeah, memory secure boot. And boot's returning -1. So really the only points where boot turns -1 is right here. And so I'm pretty sure it's here. So I wonder what read data is. Okay, so this is reading from the scratch pad. So let's look and see if there's any scratch pads. Okay, so there's opening the scratch pads. Position 407K, about just a single byte. Oh, there's this boot check right here. If boot check is -1, then return -1. And boot check is calling this method get server data, boot CGI with whatever else. And path exists, so it codes that. Path exists 0, so it's parsing that. I think, of course, any kind of exception this caught is just -1. So I'm pretty sure it's this call that's basically failing. Gets a short timer, starts the timer, opens that, press method just to connect. So it's definitely not getting to connect because there's a 2D that'll get triggered at that point. So it's definitely connector open. So what I can do actually is go into here, go into here, and this is our custom connector. So there's one of these in here that's failing. We do have the library exists, so that's valid. Connection not found, HY, so kind of want to do this. Catch IO exception. E and stack trace. Return E. Well, throw E again. And let's recycle. Okay, so run on this again. Yeah, I could probably just run this on the hosted environment next time. So I'm pretty sure it's this point that's failing. It's possible the address wasn't found. Like no path is valid. That's probably the one. Let's see. Chain, it's opening the path. Yeah, well, path exists. It's not throwing the connection. Interesting. Zero subject. Does it actually exist? You know, that actually doesn't exist. Zero CGI and boot CGI. So technically, yeah. It's just using zero for the address. So yeah, which means hmm, using zero for the address. So at least for the host name. Oops. If normal is not equal to null, so from part print stack trace. So technically if this was invalid, then it wouldn't. Yeah, see, it's trying to code this. So that path should here just be, CGI boot. So normal is not equal to null, then it should return null, right? So I'm pretty sure this is null. If that is not null and the path exists, then basically use this address. Otherwise, use normal address. And otherwise, if not, then don't use that. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So that definitely means has to be here. If we're opening the connection, obviously. So maybe I should just do that. Declare custom connector. Let's see. Yeah, so connect. Very laggy. Just want to see what it's doing. Otherwise, it should show. Unless if this wasn't found, then that means the valid path isn't going to work. We're just trying to get the manager here. Manager's null, then we found the web root, and then we just fail here. So yeah, it's quite laggy. Now, root is an empty space. IntelliJ is being quite laggy. Yeah. Okay, let's restart. Terminate. Yeah, I'm still losing battery though, but I'm actually still plugged in. I don't think the Steam Deck is liking the charger that I have attached. Like, it doesn't think it's power delivery when it should be. I hope it is. I didn't have memory, so hopefully things are faster. So let's run the hosted environment one. So I kind of have a feeling the Connect isn't working. I'm not sure what I'm going to connect to. Manager. Okay. Let's see now. We should have used DoJa Connect. DoJa Connect, do slash /0 CGI boot. So doing the path list and well, I guess it's been like 3 hours. So I do have a Patreon, and also you can check out the source code on the project. You can also run it yourself. So thanks for watching. I guess that's pretty much it. I will be eating and whatnot. Probably might stream again tomorrow if I'm not feeling horrible from the vaccine that I just got today. So otherwise, see you then. Thanks for watching. Stop streaming.